Hey Scorpio, I just pulled cards for you and the angel number 999 keeps showing up everywhere, and honestly, I need to share what came through because this reading is something else. Before we dive in, let me just say that 999 is the number of completion and transformation, and for you Scorpio, this is hitting different right now. So I shuffled the deck asking what truth your soul wants you to face, and the energy that came through was intense. You know how sometimes you can feel the weight of a reading before you even flip the cards? This was one of those moments. The universe is literally pushing you to confront something you've been avoiding, and I say this with so much care because I know facing yourself is never easy, especially for a Scorpio who already feels everything so deeply. The first card that jumped out was the Four of Wands, and I almost didn't expect this energy to come first. But here we are. This card is about celebration and foundation, but for you right now, it's showing me something interesting. You've been building something in your life, whether that's emotional stability or a sense of home within yourself, and the universe is saying you're closer to that completion than you think. But here's the thing, that 999 energy is asking you to look at what foundations you've built on shaky ground. Are you celebrating things that aren't truly aligned with who you're becoming? This card is beautiful, Scorpio, but it's also asking you to be honest about what deserves to stay in your life as you close this chapter. I'm seeing that you might be holding on to certain connections or situations because they feel comfortable or familiar, but comfort isn't always growth. The Four of Wands wants you to know that real celebration comes when you build on authentic ground, not on what you think you should want. There's this energy of needing to evaluate your inner home before you can truly feel settled, and I think that's what 999 is pushing you toward. It's like the universe is saying, hey, you've done the work to get here, but are you being real with yourself about what this foundation is made of? And I know that's a hard question, but Scorpio, you're strong enough to answer it honestly. This card is also showing me future gatherings and moments of joy, but only after you do this internal audit of what's real and what's just habit. You might be approaching a time where you'll want to bring people together or create something stable in your life, and that's beautiful, but make sure everyone and everything at that table is truly meant to be there. Next, I pulled the Four of Swords, and wow, Scorpio, the universe is really telling you to rest. This came through so clearly, and I need you to hear this, because I think you've been running on fumes for longer than you want to admit. The Four of Swords is about recovery and mental peace, and with that 9999 energy around it, the message is that you cannot transform into your next chapter if you're exhausted. This isn't just about physical rest either. This is about giving your mind and spirit permission to stop processing everything so intensely. I know as a Scorpio, you feel like you need to understand every layer of every situation, but sometimes healing happens in the stillness, not in the analysis. What I'm seeing here is that you've been carrying heavy thoughts, maybe even obsessive thoughts about certain situations or people, and this card is literally begging you to put them down for a moment. The future here shows me that if you allow yourself this rest period, you're going to gain clarity that you couldn't access when you were in constant mental motion. It's like trying to see your reflection in water that won't stop moving versus waiting for the surface to become still. The Four of Swords is promising you that stillness will bring answers, but you have to choose it consciously. I also feel like this card is connected to that 999 completion energy, because maybe what needs to end is this pattern of never letting yourself truly rest. Maybe the old chapter closing is the version of you who believed you had to carry everything alone and figure everything out immediately. There's wisdom in pausing, Scorpio, and I think your soul knows this even if your mind fights it. This card is showing me that some of your best insights about your future are going to come not from forcing them, but from creating space for them to arrive naturally. The Emperor came through next, and this is card number 5 in your reading, and I have to say the energy shifted when this card appeared. The Emperor is about structure and authority and control. And for Scorpio, this is interesting because you already have such powerful energy around taking charge of your life. But with 999 here, the question becomes, what are you trying to control that actually needs to be released? I'm seeing that you might be gripping too tightly to certain outcomes, or trying to manage situations that are beyond your control, and the universe is asking you to look at why. What are you afraid will fall apart if you're not constantly managing it? The Emperor in this position is showing me that true power in your future comes not from controlling everything, but from knowing what deserves your leadership and what doesn't. There's this fine line between being strong and being rigid, and I think 999 is asking you to soften some of those hard edges. Not because you're not capable, but because the next version of you understands that control is sometimes an illusion we hold on to when we're scared. I'm also seeing that this card might represent a masculine energy in your life or a situation. where you've had to be very structured and disciplined. And while that's served you, there's a completion happening around it. Maybe you're finishing a cycle where you had to be so strong and self-reliant, and the future is showing me that you're being called into a different kind of power, one that includes vulnerability and trust. The Emperor wants you to know that you've built something solid within yourself. Your inner authority is real and strong, but now it's time to use that authority to make different choices. Choices that honor your need for transformation, not just stability. This card is also talking about father figures or authority figures in your life, and if there's been any tension or unfinished business there, 999 is signaling that this is the time to address it or release it completely. Then I pulled the Devil in Scorpio. I felt this card before I even turned it over because the energy was so heavy, and honestly, this is the card that explains why 999 showed up in your reading. The Devil is about bondage and addiction and unhealthy patterns, and I know you know exactly what this is referring to. We all have our devils, the things we keep going back to, even though we know they're not good for us and for you right now. The universe is saying enough. The 999 energy is completion energy, and the Devil appearing here means you're at the end of a karmic cycle of self-sabotage or toxic connection or harmful pattern. This could be about a person, it could be about a substance, it could be about a way of thinking, but whatever it is, you know what it is. And the truth your soul wants you to face is that you have more power over this than you've been admitting. The Devil looks like chains, but if you look closely at the card, those chains are loose. They can be removed at any time. And that's the message here. You're not actually trapped, you've just been telling yourself you are. And I say this with so much compassion, because I understand that sometimes we stay in our prisons because they're familiar, and leaving them means stepping into the unknown. But Scorpio, your future self is calling you forward, and that version of you is free. This card is showing me that as you move into your next chapter, you cannot bring this energy with you. It's too heavy and it doesn't match the vibration of where you're going. I'm also seeing that the Devil might represent a relationship or situation where there's been manipulation or power dynamics that aren't healthy, and if that resonates, you already know what needs to happen. The 999 says this cycle is done whether you choose to walk away or the universe removes it for you. And honestly, choosing to walk away yourself is always more empowering than waiting to be forced out. This card is intense, but it's also incredibly liberating because it's showing you that your freedom is right there waiting. You just have to be brave enough to choose it. The Hierophant showed up next, and this surprised me a little because after the Devil, I wasn't expecting such traditional energy, but here's what I'm getting. The Hierophant is about tradition and belief systems and spiritual authority. And for you, Scorpio, this is asking what beliefs are you following that aren't actually yours? With 999 energy here, I think there's a completion happening around outdated belief systems or ways of thinking that you inherited from family or society or religion. The Hierophant can represent mentors and teachers and conventional wisdom, and sometimes that's beautiful, but sometimes it keeps us small. What I'm seeing for your future is that you're being called to question everything you think you know and to build your own spiritual philosophy instead of following someone else's. This might feel uncomfortable because humans like structure and knowing what to believe, but Scorpio, you're not meant to follow someone else's path. You're meant to create your own. This card is also talking about seeking guidance and wisdom from others, and that's wonderful, but the 999 energy is saying make sure the voices you're listening to are actually helping you grow, not keeping you stuck in old patterns. I'm also picking up that there might be some connection to organized religion or traditional institutions in your life, and if you've felt restricted or judged by those systems, this card is giving you permission to walk away and find your own relationship with the divine. The Hierophant in traditional readings is about conformity, but I think for you, right now it's about the opposite. It's about breaking free from conformity and discovering what you truly believe when you strip away everything you were told to believe. Your future shows me someone who's deeply spiritual, but in a personal, authentic way, not in a way that requires anyone else's approval or validation. And that's powerful, Scorpio. That's true spiritual freedom. 7 of Pentacles came through, and I have to say this card makes so much sense after everything we've seen. The 7 of Pentacles is about patience and investment and waiting for your harvest. And with 999 energy, I'm seeing that you've been planting seeds for a long time, Scorpio, and you're so close to seeing the results. But here's what this card wants you to know. The harvest isn't going to look exactly like what you planned, and that's actually a good thing. You've put in the work, you've done the healing, you've made the sacrifices, and the universe sees all of it. The 7 of Pentacles is asking you to trust the process even when you can't see the full picture yet. I'm seeing that you might be feeling impatient or frustrated, like you've been working so hard and where are the results? But this card is saying they're coming. They're right there, you just need to hold steady a little longer. The 999 energy here is interesting because it's saying that part of the completion is about completing your faith in yourself and in divine timing. It's about finishing the chapter where you doubted whether your efforts mattered or whether things would work out. Your future is showing me abundance and success, but it's asking you to keep tending to your garden even when you can't see the fruits yet. This card is also about evaluation, and I think it's connected to that Four of Wands energy we saw earlier. You're in a moment of assessing what's working and what's not in your life. Maybe some of the seeds you planted aren't growing the way you hoped, and that's okay. The Seven of Pentacles gives you permission to redirect your energy toward what is working. You don't have to keep watering dead plants. Scorpio, you're allowed to focus on what's actually thriving. And I think as you move through this 999 completion, you're going to get really clear about where your energy should go and where it shouldn't. Of Pentacles appeared, and this energy feels so fresh and hopeful after everything we've been through in this reading. The Page of Pentacles is about new beginnings in the material world, new opportunities, new learning, new approaches to work and money and practical matters. And with 999 showing completion, this makes perfect sense because when one door closes, another one opens. I'm seeing that as you finish releasing what we talked about with the devil, and as you complete your rest period from the Four of Swords, you're going to step into this page energy, which is curious and eager and ready to learn. The Page of Pentacles is showing me that you might be starting something new, a project or a skill, or even a new way of approaching your finances and career, and the energy around it feels exciting. This isn't about having everything figured out. This is about being willing to be a beginner again, and I know for Scorpio who likes to be the expert, that can feel vulnerable, but it's also where all the magic happens. Your future is showing me messages or news coming related to work or money, and these messages are going to open doors you didn't even know existed. The Page is a messenger card, so stay alert to opportunities that might seem small at first, but have big potential. I'm also seeing that this card represents a younger person or someone with youthful energy who might come into your life to offer help or guidance around practical matters. Don't dismiss assistance just because it comes from an unexpected source. The 999 energy here is beautiful because it's showing me that you're not just ending old chapters, you're actively creating new ones, and the Page of Pentacles is your invitation to approach this next phase with wonder and openness instead of cynicism or fear. 10 of Pentacles showed up, and Scorpio, this is major because this is the card of ultimate material and emotional abundance. The 10 of Pentacles is about legacy and family and long-term security and wealth that spans generations, and after the completion energy of 999, this makes total sense. You're being shown what's possible when you release what's not serving you and step into alignment with your true path. This card is literally the harvest we talked about in the Seven of Pentacles, but it's the full harvest, not just a taste. I'm seeing that your future holds stability and prosperity that you've been working toward for years, and it's not just financial, it's emotional and spiritual too. The 10 of Pentacles is showing me a life where you feel genuinely secure and at peace, where you've created something that matters and that lasts. This could manifest as financial success, or it could be about finally feeling at home in your own life, like you've built something solid that can't be shaken. With the 999 energy, I'm seeing that this abundance comes after the completion you're going through right now. It's on the other side of letting go. The 10 of Pentacles is also about family and legacy, so if you've been thinking about your role in your family system or what you want to leave behind, this card is saying those thoughts matter and you have the power to create the legacy you want. I'm also picking up that this card might indicate a financial blessing or opportunity that comes through family connections or established networks, so keep your eyes open. The energy here is so warm and abundant, Scorpio. The universe is showing you that everything you've been through has been leading somewhere beautiful. You're not struggling for nothing, you're building something that's going to provide for you and possibly others for a long time to come. Page of Cups came through, and I love this because after all that Pentacles, Earth energy, we needed some water and emotional softness. The Page of Cups is about emotional messages and creative inspiration and opening your heart to new feelings, and for Scorpio, who feels everything, this is both exciting and maybe a little scary. The 999 energy here is telling me that you're completing a cycle of emotional guardedness or cynicism, and the Page of Cups is the energy that comes after that completion. This card is showing me that you're going to receive a message or an emotional offering from someone, and it's going to surprise you in the best way. The Page of Cups is gentle and vulnerable and sincere, And I think after everything you've been through, you might have forgotten that this kind of pure emotion still exists. But it does, and it's coming your way. This could be a romantic message, or it could be a creative idea that lights you up, or it could be reconnecting with your own emotional innocence, the part of you that still believes in magic and love and beauty. I'm seeing that this card represents either a younger person with water sign energy, or it represents you embodying this page energy as you move into your new chapter. The Page of Cups asks you to stay open to wonder and inspiration even after you've been hurt, even after you've had to be strong for so long. Your future is showing me that there's sweetness waiting for you, Scorpio, and you don't have to be so armored all the time. This card is also about intuition and psychic messages, so pay attention to your dreams and your gut feelings during this time because the universe is trying to communicate with you through your emotional and intuitive channels. The 999 completion energy says you're finishing with emotional heaviness and stepping into emotional lightness and possibility, and that's such a gift. The final card I pulled for you is the King of Pentacles in Scorpio. This is perfect because it's showing me the ultimate version of you after all this transformation. The King of Pentacles is the master of the material world, someone who's built something lasting, and who has both wisdom and resources to share. This card is your future self, the person you're becoming after you move through this 999 completion. I'm seeing someone who's not just financially stable, but who's also emotionally mature and grounded, someone who's learned how to balance ambition with peace. The King of Pentacles is generous and supportive and successful, and he got there not through shortcuts, but through consistent effort and integrity. That's you, Scorpio. That's where you're heading. This card is also showing me that you might step into a leadership role or a position of greater responsibility in your career or business, and you're going to be ready for it because you've done the inner work. The King of Pentacles doesn't just have money, he has wisdom about money and resources and how to build something sustainable. I'm also seeing that this card might represent a person coming into your life, someone stable and established and grounded who can offer support or partnership. If that resonates, stay open to connections with people who embody this king energy. The 999 completion is showing me that you're shedding the version of yourself who struggled and worried and doubted, and you're stepping into the version who knows their worth and their capability. The King of Pentacles is confident but not arrogant, he's achieved but not greedy, he's powerful but not controlling. That's the balance you're learning, Scorpio, and your future is so bright because you're willing to do the work to get there. So Scorpio, let me just say this. Reading moved me because the 999 energy is so clear you're at a major completion point in your life. Whatever you've been carrying, whatever patterns you've been stuck in, whatever pain you've been holding, it's time to let it go. The cards are showing me that your future is full of abundance and stability and emotional openness, but you have to choose to step into it. You have to choose to release the devil's chains and rest with the Four of Swords and trust the process with the Seven of Pentacles. The universe is supporting you so much right now, but it needs you to be an active participant in your own transformation. This isn't going to happen to you, it's going to happen through you, and that's actually empowering because it means you have control over how this unfolds. The Pages and the King are showing me that you're going to emerge from this chapter as someone completely new, someone who's both successful and peaceful, both strong and open. And that's the Scorpio magic right there, the ability to transform completely and rise from your own ashes into something even more powerful. Trust this process, trust yourself, and know that everything is working out exactly as it should. I really hope this reading resonated with you, and if you felt the energy of these messages, please let me know. Because I love hearing how the cards land for different people, sending you so much love and light as you move through this completion and into your new beginning.